Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is the complete review of the Vivo V9. So guys, this is the Vivo V9. This is supposed to be the flagship of Vivo for the first half of 2018 in India, and it is the successor of the Vivo V7 and the V7 Plus. Vivo has never been a brand that offered great specs at a great value. But for the past few years or the past few iterations of the V series phones, Vivo has changed a lot. Right now it does offer some pretty good specs, at least comparable with the Moto phones. Now with all that said, let's come back to the phone. Vivo has launched this phone both online and offline at a price tag of 23,000 rupees. Currently it is available in two colors, pearl black and champagne gold. Sapphire blue will be available from May. Now for people who bought this phone before April 2nd, will be eligible for one-time screen replacement. Now this is how the box looks. Now coming back to the phone, this is how the phone looks on the back. Its back panel is made of plastic but has a super glossy finish. This is the pearl black color. Now at the top it has a dual camera setup, a single LED flash, fingerprint scanner, Vivo branding and two small notches at the bottom. On the front we have the massive display with the new notch, front facing camera, LED notification light, sensors and on-screen buttons at the bottom. At the top it is completely plain. On the right side it has the power and volume buttons. On the left side it has a SIM card tray, and at the bottom we have the audio jack, a microphone hole, micro USB charging port and the mono speaker at the end. Now the display is protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla glass. Now that too is protected by a tempered glass that comes pre-applied with the phone. Now despite how huge the display looks, phone just weighs 150 grams. That's definitely pretty light. Now on the back, because of the super glossy finish, it is a fingerprint magnet, and yes, it is definitely super slippery, and to help with that, we get a free case inside the box. And this is how the phone looks with the case on, and it weighs 166 grams with the case on, which is still pretty light in weight. Now this case definitely offers you some nice grip but not a lot of drop protection. So if you are like me who is constantly worried about dropping your phone, definitely get a better case. Now with all that said, there is something really amazing about the build and design of this phone. It is made of plastic. A complete unibody metal design or a glass back would have been appreciated, but because of the plastic back panel, phone feels light in weight. It also has this nice curve on the back, which makes us feel that this phone is slimmer than it actually is. Now I'm highlighting these two things because I've used the Oppo F7, which comes with a very similar set of features and a similar build. It even weighs very similar to this phone, but because of how the phone is designed, Oppo F7 feels more heavy and thicker than this phone. By the way, there is a small camera bump, but if you use the case, it is well protected. Now coming to the hardware section, this phone comes with all the basic sensors including a notification LED light, compass, gyroscope, a fingerprint scanner and face unlock for security. Now coming to the fingerprint scanner, it is super fast, definitely as fast as any other flagship out there. It also comes with a lot of cool gestures, like we can swipe down to pull down the notification bar and do a lot more stuff. Now coming to the face unlock feature, it works, it is secure. I tried to fake it with a picture and a photo, it didn't work. I have tested it in all the lighting conditions and it worked really well. It is definitely faster than the Redmi Note 5 Pro, but not as fast as the Oppo F7 or the OnePlus 5T. This phone supports dual SIM along with VoLTE, so we can use Jio without any problem. I have used Vodafone and Jio networks on this phone and I didn't have any issues with call quality or signal reception. But we can't make or receive video calls directly using the stock phone dialer application. We need to install the Jio's third-party application for that. That's a small con. Now this is a SIM card tray, and as you can see, it has a dedicated SD card slot, which many brands and many other phones in this price segment simply don't offer. This is one of the best things about this phone. By the way, there is no NFC or Bluetooth 5.0 on this phone. Now coming to the display, this is the most highlighting feature of this phone. It comes with a notch at the top, just like the iPhone X. It sports a 6.3-inch in-cell display with Full HD Plus resolution in the new 19:9 aspect ratio. It has a total 90% screen to body ratio, and the bezels on this phone, especially on the sides, are very slim. On side-by-side comparison with the Oppo F7, bezels on this phone seems to be slightly slimmer than F7. On the left side of the notch, we can see the time, network connectivity and notification icons. On the right side, we can see the battery icon, battery percentage, alarms and net connectivity icons, whether it's Wi-Fi or mobile data. Now coming to the picture quality, it is really good. Display slightly to the cooler side, but we have the settings to make it look warmer or cooler. Right out of the box, I have noticed that many applications, especially the applications that we open in landscape mode like YouTube or games, don't open up in a full screen mode. We can see two huge black bars on either side. Now to fix that issue, go to display settings, then select third party app display ratio, then select the application that you want to use in full screen and select full screen. I would suggest you to do it for all the applications, but for starters, do it for YouTube. Once you do that, we can do the pin gesture to go full screen. And now the display feels more immersive. Now that's not all. This phone even comes with iPhone X like gestures where we can swipe from the left side or the right side to go back, swipe from the center to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps. So on the whole, it gives you the look of an iPhone X along with all the things you want to show off. So to wrap it up, display on this phone simply feels awesome, looks awesome, definitely one of the best displays out there. Yes, I still wish it was an AMOLED display, but hey, we are talking about Vivo at this price segment. Now moving on to the camera section. On the rear, this phone comes with a dual camera setup with a 16 megapixel primary camera with f2.0 aperture and a 5 megapixel secondary camera with f2.4 aperture used exclusively for depth sensing. And on the front, it comes with a single 24 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. Now I've already posted a dedicated video on the camera review, so check it out for more information. But here's the gist. Cameras on this phone in terms of hardware are really good, but software needs to be optimized a little more. Rear cameras have good dynamic range, good color reproduction, colors are to the warmer side, but that's okay. Capturing speeds are good. It even has auto HDR to take some great shots. Now coming to the cons, it overexposes the shot, so colors look faded, and when we take pictures in the HDR mode, it lacks sharpness. In low lighting conditions, images are soft, noise levels are low, and it does a decent job. Now coming to the front facing camera, in well lit conditions and even in low light indoor conditions, it takes pretty good selfies. But in very low lighting conditions, for some reason, it overexposes a lot to a point where my face looks completely blown out. So that's a minor con. Now coming to the additional features, it has this feature called shot refocus for the rear camera, where we can take a portrait shot, and once we take it, we can change the amount of background blur effect and even change the point of focus. So that gives us something more to play around with. It also has live photo mode, where it records few seconds as video every time you take a picture, and it also has portrait mode for the front camera. These are all the sample shots. Now coming to video recording, there is no optical image stabilization or electronic image stabilization for both the front and rear cameras, but it has the option to record video at 4K resolution using the front and rear cameras. This is the first time Vivo is offering 4K video recording for a phone in this price segment. By the way, it also has this AI face beauty mode, AR stickers, and AI face beauty mode. So guys, check out my camera review for more information and more sample shots. Now coming to the performance, this phone sports a Snapdragon 626 processor under the hood with Adreno 506 GPU, with 4GB of RAM, 64GB of internal storage, with support for microSD card up to 256GB using a dedicated SD card slot. These are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. Yes, in terms of performance, it isn't all that new or it isn't all that powerful, but it is still a decent mid-range processor. Considering the Snapdragon 450 processor on the Vivo V7 Plus, which was priced similarly as Vivo V9 just 6 months ago, I must say, Vivo has took a huge step to providing better performance. Now yes, a Snapdragon 635 seen in the Redmi Note 5 Pro or the Snapdragon 660 seen in the new Nokia 7 Plus would have been great, but this is Vivo we are talking about, and for them, Snapdragon 626 is also a huge step. Now with that said, this is also a pretty good processor. It's built using the 14nm architecture, so it's very power efficient and it heats up less than the previous generation processors. For day-to-day activities like using Facebook, Instagram or browsing the web, phone was super responsive. Software optimization on this phone has been done very well. I didn't notice any lag with this phone. I have played all the heavy titles like the Asphalt 8, Modern Combat 5. All those games were playable without any issues, and while playing the game, maximum temperature I have seen was 46 degrees. Yes, that seems to be high, but that's like the worst case scenario. Now in my extreme heat test, where I took pictures continuously for 5 minutes, which is by the way around 700 pictures, phone's temperature on the front went as high as 50 degrees. Yes, that's pretty hot, but because of the plastic build, it also cools down quickly and it didn't felt all that hot. So this phone is definitely gonna keep up with you for your regular day-to-day activities, and you can do some pretty good gaming as well. Now in the software department, this phone is running a heavily skinned version of Android called FunTouchOS 4.0 based on Android 8.1 Oreo. Now this is a skinned version that looks exactly like the iPhone, at least the previous iPhones. You have the notification toggles that pop up from the bottom, but you still get the notifications at the top. We have navigation keys, but we can swap them for gestures like the iPhone X, and the settings panel has been completely redesigned to mimic the iPhone once again. With all that said, it is still an Android phone, so it offers a lot of cool features and many options to customize your phone according to your preference. For starters, it has a lot of gestures including 3-finger screenshot, air operations, air unlock, face unlock, smart click, smart call, and so on. Check out my video on best features of Vivo V9 for more information on that. Now for regular Android features like split screen mode and picture-in-picture mode, we have it. Picture-in-picture mode works without any problems and it's probably fully functional. Split screen mode is a different story. Even now, split screen mode only works for few set of applications which Vivo has chosen. So right now, these are the only applications that we can use split screen mode on this phone, which is definitely a huge disappointment. Now coming to the most important aspect, that's the memory management. On this phone, it's okay. It's not good, it's not bad, it's okay. Now coming to the audio section, this phone has a mono speaker at the bottom and it is sufficiently loud for your media consumption, ringtones and alarms. And audio experience on headset was good, amplification was better than regular phones, but there isn't a huge difference in audio experience from this phone and a regular phone, maybe like a Redmi Note 5 Pro. So audio is definitely good on this phone, but it shouldn't be a deciding factor to buy this phone. By the way, this phone doesn't have any dedicated DAC. Now coming to the battery department, under the sleek body, it packs a 3260 mAh battery, comes with a normal micro USB charging port and a regular 10 watts power adapter. It doesn't support fast charging and doesn't come with a fast charger in the box. When compared to phones like the Redmi Note 5 or the Note 5 Pro, battery size is small on this phone. But because of the power efficient processor and a lot of software features on this phone, it can definitely last you a day and standby time is pretty impressive. So guys, to conclude, this phone is definitely a great improvement and a great upgrade from the last year's Vivo V7 Plus. We are getting a lot of cool things. A newer and better front-facing camera, dual cameras on the rear with portrait mode for the front and rear cameras, a super bezel-less design with a display notch at the top with 90% screen-to-body ratio, which offers decent performance. It has a dedicated SD card slot, face unlock feature, and gestures like the iPhone X. And most importantly, it weighs less and feels sleek in the hand. Now for alternatives, you can consider Oppo F7, which is priced just 1000 rupees less than this phone, but comes with a slightly bulkier body and only single camera on the rear. We can also consider Redmi Note 5 Pro, but it doesn't have the new display notch and the bezels aren't as small as Vivo V9. By the way, it is also pretty heavy when we compare it to the V9. So guys, if you want my suggestion, if your budget is around 25,000 rupees and if you are looking for a phone that is sleek, light in weight, has an awesome looking full view display with good cameras, then I'll definitely suggest you to go with the Vivo V9 instead of the Oppo F7 or even the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now, if I have to buy a phone under 25,000 rupees, I'll probably add some more money and get the OnePlus 5T or wait until OnePlus 6 releases. If my budget is strictly around 25,000 rupees and I'm a normal user, then I'll definitely buy the Vivo V9. If I have to save some money, then I'll go with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Yes, it feels a little heavy, but it's a much better value for money and offers better performance and a lot more cool stuff. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do you agree with me or not? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag ASKGREEDYTECH on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more cool videos on tech. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.